Hello everyone, and welcome to the Beginner's Guide. The only thing I know about this game, because I have avoided every single video and piece of news that I can find out about this game, is that it's from, at least, as far as I know, which I'm probably wrong, one guy from the Stanley Parable. I love the Stanley Parable, so hopefully I'll love this one, but I'm not holding up too much hope because I've been disappointed before. Let's do it, shall we? Ah, damn it, I forgot to turn the audio on. I always do that in games. Thank you. That's a pretty complicated game.
Thank you very much for playing The Beginner's Guide. My name is Davey Reedon. I wrote The Stanley Parable, and while that game tells a pretty absurd story, today I'm going to tell you about a series of events that happened between 2008 and 2011. Okay. We're going to look at the games made by a friend of mine named Coda. Now, these games mean a lot to me. I met Coda in early 2009 at a time when I was really struggling with some personal stuff, and his work pointed me in a very powerful direction. I found it to be a good reference point for the kinds of creative works that I wanted to make. So just to start you off, this is, I think, the first game he ever made. It's a level for Counter-Strike. You can walk around here, by the way. And mostly it's just Coda learning the basics of building a 3D environment.
Looks like dust.
What I like is that even though he starts from the simple aesthetic of a desert town, he then scatters these colorful abstract blobs and impossible floating crates around the level. And of course, it destroys the illusion that this actually is a desert town, and instead this level becomes a kind of calling card from its creator. It's like a reminder that this video game was constructed by a real person. And it kind of makes you wonder, what was going through his head as he was building this? This is what I like about all of Coda's games. I mean, not that they're all fascinating as games, but that they are all going to give us access to their creator. I want us to see past the games themselves. I want to get to know who this human being really is. And that's exactly what we're going to do here.
Okay.
So,
this is not
it's
what I was
2008, Coda starts making these games, and he never releases any of them. He doesn't put them onto the internet, he just makes them and then immediately abandons them, and they sit on his computer forever. And I think he really understood this image of himself as a recluse. At one point, he jokingly renamed his computer's recycling bin to Important Games Folder. So, you know, this was just how he worked. He tended to crank them out one after the other without even really pausing to try to understand what he had just made, until suddenly one day, he just stopped. In 2011, that was it. He made his last game, and then he hasn't made another one since. And that's why I've taken this opportunity to gather all of his work together, is because I find his games powerful and interesting, and I'd like this collection to reach him, to maybe encourage him to start creating again. And if the people like you who play this also happen to find his work interesting, then I'm sure it'll just send that much stronger of a message of encouragement to Coda. So thanks for joining me on this. If you have a particular interpretation that I haven't mentioned here, or if you just need to get in touch, you can email me at daveywreden@gmail.com. Okay, that's about it for introduction. Let's take a look at Coda's first proper game. As each game is loading, I'll show you the date that it was completed. This first one was made in November 2008.
Wow. All of a sudden, I'm reminded of Half-Quake.
This game is called Escape from Whisper, and it's one of the more generic games you'll see from Coda.
Okay. This is definitely really weird. I guess he didn't put any audio in for the gun. Do I need this ammo? Oh no, you can hear it, barely. Uh-oh. I'm out of ammo. Oh, that was good.
Security call breached. Hostile alien life forms inbound.
About the hostile
It kind of looks
life
like
form?
this game was abandoned mid-development.
Okay.
For instance, you have this gun, which you'd think would indicate that there are supposed to be monsters or enemies somewhere, but then clearly there are no enemies anywhere. You can't even reload the gun when you run out of bullets. But ultimately we don't really know. Maybe Coda thought that actually it was complete the way that it is. And I think that we should talk about his games for what they are, rather than for what they're not.
Enemy force neutralized. Begin.
It seems like he's more into...
I love how you can see the bottom of the universe from this room.
Okay. I wouldn't have even looked down. That's actually kind of cool, because in game development, you don't want to render things that the player's not going to see, so why would you render down there? Huh. Of course, they would block it off so you couldn't see it at all. That's strange. Okay. Okay, What now?
Apparently
Oh,
the space
great.
station has a labyrinth on it.
Why wouldn't it?
Sure, I don't know. There's really no reason for it that I've ever been able to discern, so in the interest of time, I'm just gonna skip you on past it.
No, I like to... okay.
Or,
Oh,
if
back.
you'd really like to solve the labyrinth, you're welcome to do that too.
Well, fine. You predict what I'm gonna fucking do. Alright, fine, and for the sake of time and viewing pleasure, that you don't want to watch me looking at walls all day, as pretty as they are, I'm gonna continue on. Unless... Okay, good. I can come back here.
Okay, this is the part that's interesting. The game has this narrative about the whisper machine and how it has to be turned off, and then you get to the engine room.
Hey, you there, in the engine
Hi.
room. You could save us all. That beam is powering a whisper machine. We could disrupt it by introducing a great enough heat signature. If your body could stop the beam.
Really?
It's so much to ask, but for all of our lives, would you do it? Could you
No.
give yourself?
Fine, why I always gotta play the good guy? Yeah.
Let me pause here for a second. What you just experienced, stepping into the beam and then dying, is probably what Coda had initially intended when he was developing this level. But when he first compiles and plays it, something goes wrong. There's a bug somewhere. And this is what happens instead.
Okay. Oh, this is cool. So this
The
was a
beam
really
causes
simple
you to
level.
start floating. And this is an important moment for him. Because yes, this is technically a glitch, but Coda identifies something human about it. Like how small it makes you feel in the face of this larger chaotic system. Or this floating could be the afterlife, a peaceful place, juxtaposed against all of the hysteria that you've just had to traverse. I don't even know. I have no idea what he was thinking, but what's clear is that after making this, something lodges itself in his brain. He wants to do more of these really weird and experimental designs. So he stops work on this and moves on to a stream of tiny little games that go in all sorts of directions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first game he made after leaving this one behind.
So he's more into experimenting with game design, and the past was behind her. Oh, this is cool. Narrator, thank you.
Yep.
I can't.
In this game, you can only walk backwards.
Oh. That's, yeah, definitely an artist thought this up. But the future could not be
So it's
seen.
a short and relatively minimalist experiment combining motion and narrative.
Why does the
It is
future
less
keep
advanced
changing?
than the previous game, but actually it seems to be more focused, more complete. Coda's trying to give it a unique voice rather than simply basing it on a pre-existing trope.
When she stops and looks, it becomes clearer. Yes, because he's actually looking to find something different in gaming. But in the future, if the future is always behind her, how will she find the strength to confront it?
It's a short little thought, it says what it wants to say, and then it ends. Didn't need anything more than that. Which to me is why it works, because it gets out quick. Okay,
Yeah.
next one.
Oh. Okay. Oh, this is definitely guided. You are now entering something probably not very scary. If the theme is to be the theme so far
And
is
that's
to be
it.
believed. Oh.
Okay, the meaning of this game won't be clear just yet. Please be patient with me for a few more games, and I promise you'll see what makes it interesting.
Okay. I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you right now.
Oftentimes, Coda would put
Nonsense is
bizarre
nearly
titles like this one
in
at the
nearly
start of
every
his
direction.
games.
Wait, what? Whoa. Okay.
I wish I'd known him at the time that he was
verticality.
making these early games. He would really only talk to me about his work as he was making it. Once he stopped work on a game, like, that was it. It was dead to him. And I don't agree with that at all, but what are you gonna do?
Because games are... Okay, so I'm not going to be able to go up.
Once
am I?
you've been slowed to an absolute crawl, the door at the top of the stairs opens. So why, if Coda's not showing these games to anyone, why bother opening the door at all?
Yeah.
Well, to show you, I'm modifying the game here so that when you press enter, it'll bring you back up to full speed so you can enter the door for yourself.
You walk around talking to people. Okay, I'm not going to be able to read that. Stand on X staring at a bear for 3 hours. What the hell?
A room that's warm and nice and
Or a
filled
gate.
with little ideas for games.
Huh. So this is his place. We're not meant to be in here.
Coda
This
would
is
often
his.
tell me that he didn't mind if people thought of him as cold or distant. He said that he knew that he was actually a vibrant and compassionate person, but that it takes time to really see that. It can be a very slow climb to get there.
This is him. Okay. Wow. Ready, set, fish! Okay. This definitely shows how much the Hammer engine can do. Hammer engine was the Half-Life 1 engine, right? Or the Hammer editor, rather, not the engine. Some people still use it today. Sven Co-op is still very popular.
Well, this is new for
still
Coda.
making maps.
It's an actual puzzle. Go ahead and see if you can solve it.
Done. Do I use what I've learned so far? Although, this is actually kind of normal. Backing up to see if... Ah. Alright, it doesn't look like that's part of that. I don't hear it opening when I look away. Is there a switch here and I just can't see it? Narrator, I'm a little stuck. Hello? Mr. Narrator. Would you? Ah, there we go. That's what I was trying to do before. Oh.
Don't
There we
forget
go.
that solution, because we're going to see this puzzle again soon. We're going to
Is
see
this
it a lot.
Is this his signature? And also, I had subtitles on, right? I had this on before. I completely apologize. The inside of a Let's Play, inside of a game of... I don't know what this is. There are layers on layers. Misaligned textures. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm reading too far into it. Close this door? Nope. Okay.
So that seems to be it, right? You walk down a corridor,
There we go.
you solve a puzzle, you get to the end. Simple enough. Alright, now I'm going to modify the game again, so that when you press enter, it'll remove all of the walls from this room.
Whoa! Very strange classroom of some sort. I'm assuming that's cursive sadism. Looks like sadism is a name, and somebody signed their name. What am I doing up here? sit in the teacher's seat? Aha! You all learn from me. I'm still alive and you're dead. Since you're dead, there's no reason to teach you. So, why am I up here? What's the point of this?